guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a full review on the brand new Sephora Pro Palettes, and I decided to bring my friend Lexi along. If you have never seen her before, then just follow her on Instagram written right here.
I also have a blog. It's mostly beauty tutorials, beauty reviews, sometimes I'll do makeup of the day, things like that. It's lexilazaro.com and the link is in my Instagram bio, and my Instagram is also lexilazaro.
So today we did do a full live swatches of all three of the palettes, and then we also did our eyes with all three palettes. Well, I think we only used two of them.
We only used two.
Yeah.
Sorry, Colton palette.
Okay, so the first palette we did swatch. I swatched them all on Lexi's arm, and we did use a primer on it in between every single swatch just to make it, like, fair, I guess. We didn't do any brush swatches on any of them because it already took a long time swatching all three palettes, so we didn't want to have to swatch it 6 times, if that makes any sense. So I just used my finger. So we did do the Cool Tone palette first, which is really pretty for, like, you do bridal makeup. Like, what else would you use this for?
I would definitely say this is a really nice, like, bridal palette. They're all really soft, romantic colors. For younger, more, like, delicate kind of client. Someone who's, like, really just getting into makeup and doesn't want to do anything too harsh. There's different chromes. I believe some of them have transitional, like, transformer shades, which you can layer over top of other colors. There's some metallics, some satins. There's a little bit of everything, so you can definitely get a lot of dimension all of your looks. I think that all of the palettes can be used by themselves, or you can obviously cocktail them together if you're looking for something with a little more dimension, a little bit more of a shade range.
Okay, so the second palette that we swatched was the Warm Tone palettes, and I feel like this is, like, really drawn to us.
This is so near and dear to my heart on so many levels.
Yeah. But I feel like this has all of your oranges, your browns, your everything in between, and then again it has, like, the really light color and then the black color in it.
You can definitely do anything that's, like, really natural with this, or you can do those, like, really grungy, like, pops of color. I think it's great for, like, a halo eye, or even if you're just looking for something that's really going to be eye-catching. And honestly, I don't think you need to use very many shades to get something that's really going to pop.
Yeah, definitely.
I love this on deeper complexions as well.
And there's even, like, really, really light ones too, so it's like all three of these palettes I feel like are perfect for absolutely everybody. Another thing that I did notice about this palette is it's very, very similar to the Natasha Denona palette. So, bitch, if you did not have $130 to buy that palette, get this, because $68 is a lot better than $130. So the third palette that we swatched is the Bright Editorial palette. So my favorite is definitely this whole entire row, like right here up until, like, the purple. That's just my favorite colors ever.
Same, and Hector E, which is this one right here.
So I feel like we're still drawn to the warm colors in here, and not just for our taste, but just for the performance of them. In the swatches, they all looked pretty decent, but the one that I feel like everybody in the world agrees with is this color called Chris is garbage. I have to say that. It is chalky garbage. It looks like sidewalk chalk, I feel like. But every other color in this entire palette, I feel like it's gorgeous. It's just the blues are just not
patchier than some of the other colors.
To not get a whole palette for one color is a little ridiculous because there's 28 colors, so that the other 27 are amazing.
And I feel like that top row reminds me of the Alchemist palette from Kat Von D. You could definitely use those as highlighters for your cheeks, or as, like, a pop of, like, shimmer on the eye.
Alright, so now that you've seen all three palettes swatched and heard our opinion on all of them, we will go on with, like, the pros and cons of all three kind of together, not so much individually, but just overall our pros and cons of everything. So, like, what were your pros of, like, all three of them together?
I would say, like, overall they have really great pigment, they're super saturated, they're rich, they feel really buttery. Overall, I think you're really getting your bang for your buck. But what would you say, like, your cons are about it? Because I feel like we'd agree.
Yeah, I would feel like the cons are, for some of the mattes, they're a little bit dusty and, like, kind of chalky, and there's just a lot of fallout with some of the shades. But, I mean, if you are doing a really intense look with a lot of darker shades, or you know you're gonna really go in, just do your eyes first if you're really worried about fallout. Another, like, con that I have, which isn't really that big of a deal, it's just I don't really like how the names are printed on this piece of plastic, and because it's like it flies all out of here when you open it.
Definitely stabbed a few of the shades with the plastic.
For the price that it costs to make this piece of plastic, they probably could have just fit the names on it or just not named them at all, I feel like. But that's just like a stupid little con. I feel like to the norm, like for normal people, they just don't really care. And then another thing I really did like about this is they are pretty much like the same sizes as like the regular Sephora collection shadows, which are $10 each. So if you were paying $10 for 28 shades, that's $280. So for $68, you're getting a lot of big eyeshadows. Okay, so it does come with 4 different looks and ideas. So if you open it and you're kind of like overwhelmed by 28 colors and you're like kind of at a loss of like a look that you could do, it does have all of the shades kind of highlighted on there with like different looks, and it also has like all of the info on the side. So if you're a reader, you'll like this. If you're stupid like me and you don't like to read, we were discussing like a picture of an eye would be helpful if you're lazy, but if
especially for someone who doesn't know how to envision like what something might look like.
So overall, I definitely give this a 9.5 out of 10, because there was just like a little tiny like 1% thing that we like really didn't like about everything, but like a 9.5 out of 10. What would you rate it?
I would say an 8.
Okay.
Just because like there is some fallout. I think all the shades are really great. Like I said, I think all 3 of these in your kit would be enough eyeshadow.
Yeah.
More than enough eyeshadow, really. It's just if there wasn't as much fallout for someone who maybe wouldn't know to tap off a brush or something like that, it would make it a little bit more user-friendly.
Yeah.
Other than that, I really like these eyeshadows. I've been using them like every day for like the past week.
Alright, so that about sums up our opinion on all of them. If one of these palettes did stand out to you, I would say go out and get it. If the Sephora near you does have it in stock, I would say get it now because it is limited edition. So it's not going to be around forever, so if you can get your hands on it, definitely get it now. And if you did like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you aren't already following Lexi or I on Instagram, definitely follow us both. And if you like this, then just subscribe. I put out 2 videos every single week, and yeah.
Okay, thanks, bye.